में बोला था?
So we can start now.
Good evening, everyone. Today is a special day. 22, 02, 20, and 22. It's a palindrome. And on this special day, we have very special guests with us. Sadhna ma'am, Jyoti ma'am, Urmila ma'am. So we are going to make full use of this session today. I invite our president, Dr. Manisha Maheshwari ma'am, to start the session and welcome.
Thank you, Neha. Good evening and namaskar. I extend warm welcome to our guest faculty from Gorakhpur, Dr. Sadhna Gupta madam. She was Foxy representative to CEFOG 2018 to 21, Foxy Vice President 2016, and she's contesting for election year 2022 for Foxy President. All the best, madam. She will be enlightening us on Safe Motherhood Initiative, a silent revolution. This initiative, we all know, should start from grassroots level. We as obstetricians play a very important role in reducing maternal and neonatal morbidity and mortality. I welcome our guest chairpersons today, Dr. Urmila Tripathi, President Gwalior Society, Dr. Jyoti Banglawela, Secretary Indore Obstetric Gynec Society. I warmly welcome all the members of ROGS and members of other societies who have joined us. Now I would like to introduce Dr. Urmila Tripathi, who is President Gwalior Obstetric Gynec Society. She is MS Obs Gynae, and along with it, let me tell you, she has also done MA in English Literature. She is professor at Gajraraje Medical College, Gwalior, and have over 18 years of teaching experience. She is core committee member of GIBS, Foxy, AO, GOI, IMA Gwalior. She has been awarded with Gwalior Gaurav Award, Icons of Health Award by Times Group in 2017. She has 8 publications in National Journal. Welcome, madam. I would now like to introduce Dr. Jyoti Banglawela, my friend, best batchmate. She is active, very dynamic secretary of Indore Society. She has keen interest in high-risk pregnancy and adolescent health. MTP Committee Indore, executive member of IAEC Breast Health Committee, recipient of prestigious Wonder Foxian Award 2019, twice in 2021, once by Indore Collector and second by MP Government conferences. Welcome, Jyoti. Now I would like to request Dr. Jyoti to kindly introduce our guest faculty, Dr. Sadhna Gupta madam.
Good evening everyone, and good evening Leela Joshi madam, Neha, Manisha, Dr. Urmila. And it is rightly said by Neha, it's a very special day with the very special guest Dr. Sadhna Gupta for a very special topic. Madam, this topic is a very closer to every obstetrician which you are going to talk. And it is my proud privilege to read your CV, madam. It is really very good to read everything, madam. Dr. Sadhna Gupta, madam, she is director and senior consultant in Jeevan Jyoti Hospital and Medical Research Center. She is having Jeevan Jyoti Advanced Infertility Center, and she is founder trustee Jeevan Jyoti Trust Gorakhpur. She has having a very national, international key positions. She is Foxy representative in Suffolk 2018 to 21. She is ICOG Governing Council member 2015 to 21. She is awarded for Best ICOG Governing Council member in 2002. And she is corresponding editor Junior Obs Gynae India 2017 to 21 and Junior Joint Suffolk Vice President Foxy 2016. She is chairperson Foxy Safe Motherhood Committee 2011 to 14, and she bagged the Best Committee Award for this. Dr. Behru Dara Hansotia Award for Best Committee Chairperson in 2014 for the Safe Motherhood Committee. She is Foxy representative in WHO and UNFA workshop in the postnatal care and achieving MDG. quality reproduction and child health adolescent, and essential postnatal and newborn care. She is having a very academic stint in her own career. She is Chancellor for Best MBBS Student, SN Medical College, Agra. She is having Naval Kishore Gold Medal for the Best Postgraduate Student. She bagged 9 gold medal in her MBBS. Thrice Korean Award for Best Scientific Research Paper in 2002, 2004, and 2009. 4 times Best Research Paper Award in AICOG. Thrice Dr. D.C. Datta Prize for Best Foxy Publication in 2012, 13, and 15. She is having many social and organizational awards in her kitty. And she is having many conferences and projects as organizing chairperson ISOPOP Midterm Hybrid Conference 2021, organizing secretary Abhigyan Foxy Suffolk FIGO BSOG Conference 2021, organizing chairperson Saving Mothers International Conference 2016 and 19, organizing chairperson North Zone Yuva Foxy 2010, and VP in charge North Zone Yuva Foxy 2016. ICOG Conference on Maternal Mortality in 2007 and Adolescent Conference in 2000. Madam is having many publications, international and national, in all the journals, and we wish her all the success in the presidential candidature this year. Madam Sadhana, Madam, now it's turn for the very, very, very relevant talk for our gynecologist.
Thank you, Dr. Jyoti. And first of all, my heartiest gratitude to Dr. Manisha and Dr. Neha for this. It is just the selection of topic by Dr. Manisha and Neha is inspiring, because many times we are so much engrossed in our clinical complexities that we fail to see the panoramic picture, and sometimes we are not compassionate to the people whom we are serving. So first of all, I really heartily appreciate that you gave me around 50 minutes for this topic. My all regards to Dr. Urmila Tripathi, who has been a teacher and very loving to me in the long journey of Foxy. and today I only came to know that she is MA English Literature, and this is my thought process that every medical student must be having few things in the literature to make them better human being. So this is one way that what we are seeing, we are becoming dry in our practice, and the getting away from arts and literature is one thing. So we need the persons like Dr. Urmila Tripathi in many future Foxy activity which make us soft and which make up wet with the compassion and everything. My regards to Dr. Leela Joshi, whom we were seeing, and we really acknowledge her gracious presence. And now let me share the slide. Is visible? So just a minute. Just ये बार आ रहा है फोटो का. Yes. So, Safe Motherhood Initiative, I will really focus much more in India because it is our problem and we need to have our own solution for our very complex, heterogeneous people. What were the hopes and what we are facing the realities? I bring greeting from Foxy, ICOG, Suffolk, whom I have served in different capacities. And true revolutions are slow and silent. They are not loud. They are not destructive, but they demand our transformation. Maternal mortality is not just a personal tragedy. It is not a developmental, humanitarian, and health issue. Mothers are not problem. Maternal mortality is a human right issue. And it is the greatest health inequity of 21st century. So we, as a advocacy, as a professional, as a leader, we have to be very, very strong advocate for all Safe Motherhood initiative in whatever way we can have. Nature has destined human reproduction difficult, and it is becoming more and more difficult with human evolution. Around 136 million women deliver babies, 27 million only in our country, and around 500,000 die during process of childbirth. And our region constitute to a major share of these maternal death, and 99% of maternal death occur in developing countries. And this disparity is one of the highest in public health, that is maternal mortality index. And this must be a very, very conscious pricking for a very high technology and a little bit arrogant medicine. So this is, we are seeing a lilac color. It is not dark red like in African countries, but it is a lilac color, and it is ranging from 100 to 250 around what India has got the maternal mortality. We have a lot of regional variation. Madhya Pradesh, Jharkhand, Assam, Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, they are coming above 100. There are a city variation. Assam, because of the geographical terrain and the many issues, the highest maternal mortality is in the northeast, and the south and west are doing quite okay, but still Punjab is not crossed. Punjab has also the 129 per 100. So we have a lot of regional variation. Even in one state, we have a different variation in a different locality and in different cities. So where we have crossed the journey, we have record 65% decrease in maternal mortality from 1990 to 2013, but still we contribute a lot, and around approximate, it is 113, this is the latest data, but it is approximate 150, and it often masks variation between region and subgroup of population, and our women having a higher risk of getting critical or death during childbirth in many locations and many places. So agency is the missing piece in the Safe Motherhood initiative. And we will go through the historical aspect and what brought the idea of Safe Motherhood initiative. But this is very important thing, that women's voice was so low, was so hidden, that we took around 1987, only 1987, the World Health Organization thought that we need to have this Safe Motherhood initiative campaign. And the great injustice against mother, children, and their families was being allowed to prevail throughout the developing and poor countries of the world. So this is very important, that we took a long time to even think of the importance of mothers in our system, in our ecosystem, economic, social, cultural system, and still we have a wide gap between hopes and realities of Safe Motherhood initiative, and COVID has given again a new challenges to us. Only in 1980, there was an attention that many mothers, millions of mothers are dying during childbirth, and even political leader, even health leader focused more on the child survival and the contraceptive services. Like we always say, woman is considered responsible for any unintended pregnancy or using abortion, and sometimes. So woman who is not empowered, not educated, not being given right to many access to the contraception, she is held responsible for all unintended pregnancy as well as pregnancy related complication. And this is something, a question mark or mirror to our way of thinking. So after 1987, there was an issue that there was a thought process that many women are dying, and if we are not taking care of mother and child, we cannot progress either financially, not emotionally, and it is detrimental to future generation. So the activity of grassroots organization and internal health and development agency they came together to build political will and momentum. So in 2005, we have MDG goal, and 4 and 5 focus on reduction of MMR by 75% till 2015. That has gone, and reduce infant mortality less than 35 by 1,000. There has been progress a lot. India has done a lot, but still many like targets are still unfulfilled, and saving mother's life is not only valuable to them also, but the impact extend to family, community, and country as a whole. So historical perspective, I will say again that we must be having gratitude for those people who brought this thought process, who could see the elephant in the room. And he played a very important role in development of concept of reproductive health. And WHO with UNFPA in 1985 support the first community study what is happening in the maternal health in developing and developed country also. And WHO first produced the guesstimate, that is estimate plus guess what is the extent of problem, and around 99% was from the developing world. And in 1987, the World Bank in collaboration with WHO and UNFPA sponsored Safe Motherhood Conference in Nairobi. And with my teachers, Dr. like say Urmila Tripathi, we may be a little bit like a similar age. It is the time when we have done post-graduation. And even in 1980 through 1986, Safe Motherhood was not in mainframe of our thought process. And launch of this Safe Motherhood initiative was seen as a major milestone in the human race to reduce global burden of maternal mortality, particularly in developing country. And it issued a call that reduce maternal mortality and morbidity by 50% by year 2000. 1987 conference, actually the main thing which was perceived that we have neglected women health as a major part. And what Ellen Rosenfield says in their seminal article, where is M in MCH? Where is mother in MCH? Because every leader is like focused and interested in the child survival or the contraception. These meetings were attended by head of political leader and technocrat, but for Safe Motherhood campaign, the response was not that enthusiastic in that period of time. International alliance group was made, WHO, all UNFPA, UNICEF, they have organized, and that lead to series of regional and national conferences that made Safe Motherhood as accepted and understood term in public health world. And what we are discussing just that our each conference must have a vision, must have a way forward. It is not a like time to enjoy or time to like enhance our something, our visibility or something. Actually, every academic event must have some way forward. And you see that these regional and national conferences really make the attempt of saving mothers all over the world, and all events which can make pregnancy unsafe at any part, they are part and parcel of Safe Motherhood initiative. Foxy Figo logic. Figo also came in a big way, and it is Foxy was part of this logic toolkit, and which says that what we should do, like we should create champions. We must have to innovate what are the available resources, how we can utilize maximum, how we should have the ownership at grassroots level, that we really want to save every mother, how wherever he belongs, whatever class is this, and few targeted initiative like PPH recognition, availability of drug. So this was the history that the Foxy was also proactive and joined this FIGO logic initiative. Still, the launch of Safe Motherhood initiative is from 1987, and we still have a lot of disparities, and we have come a way forward also. So what are the pillars of a Safe Motherhood? It is equity for women. Women empowerment is part and parcel of it. Primary healthcare at their doorstep. Communication for behavior change. And I will just say that JSY and this thing, what is coming into the ground reality, that is the respectful behavior, and all family planning from antenatal and the continuum of the care. SDG goal has come, and now we know the SDG is what? It is equity, it is equality. And we have to reach the unreached. The mortality doesn't come much. They may come from any class, but it mostly comes from the rural, from the tribal, from the poor, from the backward classes. And we have to deliver the services and scale up intervention who are vulnerable, hard to reach, marginalized and excluded. What COVID has taken a very hard blow, that if anybody is unsafe, then everybody is unsafe. So we cannot like live in some closed wall. We have to make everybody happy and healthy, and only then we can be happy and healthy. So what is the goal? That is providing quality healthcare, creating a desire for care, ensuring that it is financially affordable, and making care physically accessible. Yes, you can feel it. It is earthy. It is there. Doctor is there. Nurses are there. Drugs are there. And the help is there. So coming to a little bit is historical perspective of Safe Motherhood initiative in India, and I will say in many conferences, this has been a like since 30 years in Foxy and other organization. Many like it indirectly seems to give us something lack of confidence, lack of inferiority, that oh, it is Western world, it is developed world. But mind it, you turn up the pages of anything in medicine and you will see that India was much more proactive, much more caring and open to all changes. So what India has done, it is Ayurveda. Now the government is like taking this Charak Sahita and Shashruta Sahita along with Hippocratic Oath and Ayurveda. Actually, much before the concept of fetal origin of adult disease, recognize fetus as independent person and emphasize on good thought and peaceful mind for mother for healthy and worthy newborn. So you see, they were far ahead of the time. And secondly, how well they advise about diet, nutrition, cleanliness, isolation, temperature, and skilled birth attendant. So we can be very proud that we were on the line from the eternal time. And this is the landmark pre-independent when we have the Dufferin centers, then Lady Harding Health School, then Lady Chelmsford League, India Red Cross Society. First, the Chennai was the first city to set up separate section for maternal and child health in public health department. Then Indian Research Fund Association, which worked on maternal morbidity and mortality. And in 1946, Boer Committee recognized high maternal mortality and emphasized measures to reduce it. You know, Boer Committee was the first in the world to give the world idea of primary and universal health care. And golden statement was by this committee that maternal these deaths are preventable by organized health services. So it was a statement in 1946 when the technology was not that effective, was not that superior, but the India was on the right thought process in the pre-independence. Post-independence, we got the independence. We have PHC set up. First country to launch National Family Planning Program with availability of free contraceptive. It was not in any country in the world. Then India, All India Hospital Postpartum Program. We all know in our all medical college, there was a wing for the postpartum program. MTP legalized and liberalization, one of the very few countries. Then multi-purpose health worker scheme. India signatory to Alma Ata Declaration for Primary Healthcare to All, and 1983 integrated MCH and family welfare, and followed by universal immunization program. India was a signatory for the Safe Motherhood program in 1987, and then National Rural Health Mission, National Maternity Benefit, and Pulse Polio, and the PCPND Act to like sex selective abortion checking. And 2005, we started our government NRHM with strong commitment to reduce maternal and infant mortality and universal access to health services. So India was always like in the right step, in the right frame with the people with open mind. And we have the problem also, that is the disparity. So empowered action group, difference in the woman status in different states, as well as the human and the technical infrastructure. Now, the second part of it with recapitulating history, and we can be quite proud of it. And we can also see that what could we have done better. And for this, maternal death surveillance came to our like system. Why mothers die? And we say, we did the ICOG maternal mortality conference in 2007. And in 16 and 90, we say saving mothers. So from that, we came to quality of life and the happiness in the life. So life is plurality, death is informity, and we know there can be direct cause and there can be indirect cause. Direct obstacle cause, indirect maybe previous existing cause and local epidemiology. And why this cause analysis and statistics is important, because when we will see the things, only then we will find the solution. When we will have a question, then we will have the answer. And it is the latest data that what is causing maternal death in India. So PPH from 38 to 24%, maybe our all peers who are working so ardently for the PPH prevention, identification to paramedicals. Good drugs availability has done a really good work. Hypertensive disorder of pregnancy has come as one of the major cause, and still there is unsafe abortion and obstructed labor in the cause analysis. Beside this, in certain belt, we have a lot of issue, that is indirect cause, malaria endemic area, then valvular heart disease, infection is very, very prevalent, and anemia is also very, very prevalent. So these are the cause, and this is the maternal death. We know it can be the direct maternal death, which is not from accidental or incidental cause, or pregnancy related death. When there is a death of woman while pregnant or within 40 days, whatever is the cause of death, so we know actually the social, the background, like social, and what was the cultural thing that the suicide, it is a suicide, but what made the patient suicide during that vulnerable period. So it is about the real issues in the maternal death. So it can be direct, indirect, late, or the coincidental. We all know this is ratio, maternal mortality ratio, and maternal mortality rate in the reproductive age group, and maternal mortality ratio in the same time, what is per 100,000 live birth. So maternal death surveillance has come in a big way, from maternal death review to maternal death surveillance report system, and it focused not only the immediate cause, that is cardiorespiratory arrest or hemorrhage, but it also takes what were the system lapse from home, from transport to hospital to multiple referral. So how many deaths, why the patient died, why the mother died, where died, what was the system lapse, and how we could have prevented it, so that the other people are benefited from this analysis. So what are solution and intervention, and when we put this solution, how it affecting the our institutional or our locality maternal health system, and how we can advocate. We learn, and now we know that yes, people should be aware of the pregnancy complication. People should be aware that the blood pressure to be taken. People should be aware that folic acid to be taken. So it is just not, and like having the data is not the issue, but responding to data is the issue. So it is the 112, the Mdsr was launched, and it includes surveillance of maternal death, timely notification, action and response approach to be aggregated with death review information. So this was one very, very important, because we could see a whole picture. Sometimes only obstetrician is blamed, only hospital is blamed, but the patient was direly anemic. They were like waiting that this thing will happen, and they were not taking any blood pressure. And this gave a complete picture that what really causes maternal death, right from family, right from childbirth, right from gender disparity to the neglect of the health, and finally the patient dies in hospital, and some institution or some person is being blamed. So it was like we were also benefited for it, because the government was also responding to other things, that what is the cause analysis. So primary goal of Mdsr was reducing preventive mortality by continuous action, surveillance, then identification, quantification, notification, and review of maternal death. This is one thing which is very, very inspiring. And in our journey as a professional, in different professional organization like Foxy, we are fortunate to have the motivating people. We can, like Dr. VP Pelli, like Dr. Leela Joshi, that like everything can happen, and Dr. VP Pelli is doing their confidential inquiry of maternal death in Kerala, and they always say that what is that the deep venous thrombus embolism is there, hypertension is reaching ahead of hemorrhage. And this is the just 2 days back, Dr. Pelli has given me this latest from 2020 by Mdsr in Kerala, and in every state chapter, like we really have to work, and we have to learn, and we have to come together, that we can have confidential inquiry of maternal death. It is not a blame, it is not a shame, it is just a compilation of data, drawing conclusion and formulating recommendation. So we read each story. Every death is a story. It is like a novel. It is a picture. It is like a film, and it offers an opportunity for all us of what we can plan, what we can do further in providing services, because every film, every classic literature opens your conscious to it, and you know that what is coming out of it as a distilled experience. So all 3 days, we are fortunate and we are proud that with good roads, with 108 ambulance, we have really crossed a lot in first and second delay, but there should be no delay at the our level, that is the delay at facilities. So from why mothers die to saving mother, and now only care, like first was it was care, then it was good care, but it should be also respectful care, because if we are not respectful, then people don't come to us. Poor people, very, very backward people, they are really afraid. And this racial discrimination is all over, in all European countries, America, in all countries. We always, you will listen that Hispanic women, they get the poorer statistics. African American, they have got the poor statistics, and that is in our mind. And open mind is really, really needed to make this world happy. So from risk approach to operationalize first referral unit and attack on social and cultural factor, which we are. And this was the Indian plan, that registration early in pregnancy, at least 3 antenatal checkup, dietary supplement, institutional delivery, AMOG, postnatal care, family planning, and review of each maternal death, what we have implemented. Reproductive child health, phase 1, when essential healthcare, and then we came to know that actually people need the emergency obstetrical care, whatever good antenatal care we give, because obstetrical complications are not predictable, and we must have 24/7 emergency obstetrical care availability. Secret of nation health lies in the homes of people, and NRH come and JSY come, that is Janani Suraksha Yojana. And I still remember when my fellow gynecologist, first of all, she informed me that there is some ASHA who has to be paid because bringing the patient for institutional delivery. And finally, we got a lot of people who were part of the framing this Janani Suraksha Yojana. And initially, I was also a little taken aback, but it was a wonderful incepted scheme, first in the world. It is only our experience as JSY which provide cash on institutional delivery and motivate them to come for institutional delivery and creation of cadre of ASHA. So ASHA, it is a community leadership, and you see our women who are giving not opportunity to education, especially rural women, how beautifully, if not at least 50 to 60% of these community women has come out as leader, and they create the message and the light of knowledge to all, that what is minimum antenatal health care, what is to be diet, iron, folic acid, and bring them to the institution. And I will say this is a silent revolution, bringing leadership into the frame and bringing, that gives them job, that gives them identity, that gives them face, and they have become a strong core of today's Indian maternal and child health care system. We had a lot of challenge, quality of care, administration, sometimes the like delay in payment, but the gain was a marked rise in institutional delivery. It is much more than the antenatal care coverage, and community became sensitive to need of obstetrical care. I will like to have everybody's experience that if every rural patient says, every rural woman knows that iron folic acid table to be taken and Tetvac to be administered. And that is a great achievement on our part, and it addresses poverty, inequity, and accessibility. So it is one of the most revolutionary and innovative schemes started by GOI. We must have this positive approach about it. There is a different level of payment in the empowered action group state and the other state, and it really changed health seeking behavior, because now the issue is much more institutional delivery, but we have to create quality healthcare system, and we have to be ready for many things. And public healthcare system has given a face, and even a very Kerala like people where we have got a very low maternal death, they are also looking for this strong public health system, JSY, because sometime like in COVID time, people were out of job, and this public health system must be there. So this is very, very important, that poor often benefit less from public spending, and because they are empowered, and bringing them into the mainstream is very, very important. And we always have to take account of cultural belief and life situation of the families. Another important thing is that why they want to come into particular hospital, particular doctor, that is the cleanliness of hospital, attitude of staff, lovely and affectionate behavior. Then then they come what is the good clinical practice. So we must be very, very sensitive to it. And the public-private partnership, many private hospitals also join. And this is the slide, it is right from 2016 data, and you can see with JSY, we have much more institutional delivery, that is 80%, but the antenatal coverage is still, the gross average is 60. So what JSY has done and impacted. Many yojana, many programs, Pradhan Mantri Matru Bandhana, Surakshit Matra Poshak Abhiyan, and a word about emergency obstetrical care. So we know the obstetrical complication can be unpredictable, and everybody, any woman can have hemorrhage, any woman can have hypertensive crisis or infection or sudden collapse. And the all over world says that the availability of good quality of emergency obstetrical care is key to reduce maternal death. So what is the ground realities actually? The ground realities, it is a compilation of all the Indian data, and still the EMOC services, that is emergency obstetrical care services, is much more concentrated in the urban area. Even in private sector, we have the CMOC, that is availability for cesarean and blood transfusion, but they are not providing assisted vaginal delivery, no facility for the manual removal of placenta. So there is a lot of things where gaps, where this like equity, like equal distribution of emergency obstetrical care services, rural, urban, accessible, affordable. This should be the need of time for our country, and we have done a lot of things. And what are solutions? Nurses mentoring program, I will just touch the Manyata also, what the Foxy has been doing, avoiding long distances to avail EMOC, what is the equal distribution and availability of 24/7 equipment, human resource. And we know that at periphery, there is a lot of issue about it, and patients get transferred from one facility to other, and that causes the maternal death. These are 7 signal function of DMOC, which has been planned according to major cause of maternal death, that is antibiotic, anticonvulsant, uterotonic, removal of retained product, assisted delivery, manual removal of placenta, and resuscitation of newborn, and CMOC with blood transfusion and cesarean delivery. So these are the WHO recommendation that at what population we must have DMOC and CMOC. At India, we have a lot of things to do to bridge this gap. I was fortunate enough to represent Foxy in many key issues, and this is few photographs. And what is the EMOC training package? Make it happen. It is not in only book. It is not for the Viva. It is not for the conference. It should be palpable. It should be felt. And we need quality improvement as well as monitoring and evaluation for this. We are approaching for Anemia Mukt Bharat. India is doing it. Our professional bodies are doing it for the nutrition. And we have a lot of food fortification program. Iron folic acid in our India, it is throughout from the antenatal first week to the last week. And this is another futuristic step. Our government is planning for the mandatory fortification in coming years. Still, there has been negotiation about the cost, about the quality. Still, it is not in the working, but in next few years, we can see the mandatory fortification of the food. A little bit about Foxy. It is a 30,000 organization, and what as a professional body. As today we are with the Ratlam, with Indore, with Gwalior society leaders, with Dr. Leela Joshi like people. And what we can do together, what we can do, not do alone. We can provide skill and teaching to peer, creating educational module. supporting hand for clinical auditing for self-assessment, monitoring support through member bodies, and adopt. Every society can adopt one rural area for emergency obstacle care, for antenatal care, and it will like give everything. It will give a change in our life. It will give a new perspective, and you will really understand how people take so difficulty in reaching to our clinic. Few milestone by Foxy. It was 16-week intensive EMOC program. MBBS doctors were trained to do the emergency cesarean section and emergency obstacle care in 6 nodal center, and around 238 districts were covered, and there was a reduction in referral rate and reduction in complication. This is the data from Kasturba Medical College, Manipal, where they have the satellite clinics, and how the educational institute by adopting village can really bridge many gaps. It is Dr. Sanjay Gupta's eclampsia registry, which shows only 44% of MACSELF. And we did a nationwide gestosis program, and now it is more than 90% use of MACSELF and a good measurement of blood pressure. So how professional body can make an impact? Then the quality, this is the key issue, and quality is different for one. For one, talking a lot is quality, for one cleanliness is quality, and for one the management of complication is quality. But what we need: infrastructure, human resource, good clinical practice, adverse event recognition and complication management, and we must have the health, good change in health statistics and patient satisfaction. This is very important, that we have the limited resource, but we have to utilize them to the best. Human infrastructure is the most important. Now we are having much more medical college, much more paramedical thing. Maybe the things will be changing, but still the WHO and health organization feel that there will be a scarcity of human infrastructure, human resources in health sector, especially for emergency obstacle care. So the missing link is that it is not only technology, it is the political will, it is the financial will, and every healthcare worker should be able to detect complication, handle complication and referral. And for this, we have the Manita program, and what we have our own challenge, that is immigration. I can say again, thanks to COVID, maybe immigration will be less in coming time. And again, there is a staff shortage, which every private sector feels at certain point of time. So these are our the poor and developing world is worst hit, and we have this political and social insecurity and less number of people coming for EMOC services. What we say when we call some nurse, they will say, no, we will don't do night duty. We will come thrice a week in the peripheral health center. And this is a challenge, that how we can make this job lucrative and how we can motivate the people. Like people today, every young people want to be very safe. They want to be in comfort zone. And this, the obstetrician, they have done PG in OB-GYN, but they want to do endoscopy, infertility, because they don't want to deal with emergency. And when already we are facing the human resource infrastructure, this is for us, all teachers, all leaders, that basic obstetrics is our basic thing. Basic obstetric gynae we owe to our women. And after 10 to 15, you can develop your specialty, but we can give this responsibility to our junior staff, our younger generation. But this is mindset. Today, even try right from nurses to doctors, everybody want to have what we say, the quality of life. But as a doctor, what is the quality of life? Facing the challenges, solution the challenge. As a surgeon, how feel we good when we save a life, when we deal with life-threatening hemorrhage, and that that taste should be given, and that taste should be appreciated and awarded, so that the young people are inspired to do their best. So these are our challenges for many things, but only developing world has got that spark that we can do a lot, and that requires, that can overcome any problem. And we have a lot of money. We have the richest person in our country like Ambani, and a lot of corporate social responsibility, and we can devote our talent and treasure. So as a professional body, we can join link, and we can join link with other bodies like Nursing Council, Neonatal Forum, and the public sector. These are all Safe Mother initiative. We all have done our bit. This is Pan India PPH workshop and the critical workshop we have done. Active management of third stage of labor. I was part of it, and I am so proud when I see look back. Then we were doing survey in the different Agra, Gorakhpur, and the southern state, and that was the first time I came to know that oxytocin to be kept in fridge. Before that, even I was not aware, and that made a real change. That the units started having a like active management of third stage of labor, which is clinically based, which is evidence based, and oxytocin was kept in the fridge. And now we have got the heat stable as well as heat labile carbitocin as well. Helping Mother Survive, this was it. I was fortunate to be coordinator of this Helping Mother Survive program all over the north and east. And I'm like gratitude to Dr. Hema for giving me this responsibility, because it makes me so much enriched about the quality of obstetrical care and saving mothers by all. So this is all Safe Mother checklist and what we have done. And now the Manyata journey, and we are just have the in Raigad, Raipur and Bilaspur, the sensitization meeting. And you see at this sister from Siwan, a remote village, remote town of the Bihar, and she is so happy that somebody is calling to her, somebody is teaching her, and she is confident why we should wear glove, why we should prepare with the oxytocin loaded before delivery of the baby. And that is the value of our professional organization. It is a core strength, and we can harness human resource. We can set the standard for quality, and we can create center of excellence as a role model. So these are all safe but checklists which look simple, but it has come after a lot of thought process. And what are our challenge? We have to delete the psyche of hierarchy and authority, a good work culture, lack of coordination right from education and training. So we are always following something, sometimes either teacher or sometimes Western world recommendation. So we have to be very careful that we must be receptive to what is difference in culture, class, and language, and we have to make a team. This is about Manyata, what we say. I really request that everybody join this Manyata momentum. You can do on-site registration. It is now a virtual program, so any number of hospital can be taken. You don't have to do the work. It is nurses and our trainers will teach you that how to recognize all the thing. And this is Manyata journey, which have come a long way from M4M project Utkarsh to Manyata. And I've been to Jharkhand, different state of UP, to felicitate the people who have joined this Manyata initiative. And I really request that everybody should take interest and go to the site of Manyata. Alpesh Gandhi created a real awareness about HDO and ICO, because women who are critical, if they are not given critical care, they will die. And we must have, our women have the right for obstetrical HDO and obstetrical ICO. And a lot of critical care workshops, what we have done, a publication like which we just did in 2021 for the severe acute maternal morbidity, that has sensitized the people for obstetrical critical care. There is a ICOG course for it also, so that obstetrical HDO and ICO get the specialist doctor who is trained in it. A lot of innovation, SR cannula, Chhattisgarh uterine implant right from Nalini Mishra, Dr. Devdas bag for the assessment of blood loss, paperless partogram by Dr. Devdas, PPH in eclampsia tray, what we are like training in the Manyata session, drills and hands-on workshop, and program for paramedical for anemia and GDM. These are the earthy programs. These are reaching to people, and these are really making a difference. And we see a lot of such innovation from our country. So COVID has made the thing difficult. We are fortunate that COVID is going back, fortunately, and God willing it goes back, but it has really impacted women and child health, a lot of stillbirth and a lot of maternal death and morbidity, and everybody was fearful, but Foxy was quite active. I was also a resource person for this GCPR on pregnancy and COVID-19 infection, and that is the strength of our professional organization. So how to do hospital triaging, I am just deleting, and ICOG, how to do ultrasound. So this is today's India. This is our challenges. As a, when we start our career, it is Clinical Establishment Act, registration, so many laws, hyperactive media, very, very high aspirant patient for certain class. For certain class, they have no expectation, nothing. Even we talk them nicely, it's okay. But for them, somebody very, very high aspiration, we don't get that skill paramedical support, and so much technology and advance and confusion that sometimes we are really confused what to do and make our antenatal and obstetrical care very, very costly. That itself is a can be violence to many, many people. So we really need support of peer professional organization, and we did a lot of series, and we took like motivate and involve the young obstetrician gynec what they think of these safe motherhood initiative to further planning. So let's join hand for the safe motherhood initiative for everybody's happiness. We have the technology, we know the what works, what is the effective intervention. Now there is political will. With post-COVID, health is in the mainstream of our government and the technocrat. We need healthcare professional and women's group. We had to advocate. Yes, we want this drug. Like we see nowadays, we had a lot of programs. We say all it is carbetocin is not available in public health. Then we can be a strong advocate. It is WHO essential medicine list. It should be in our hospital. So it is a wonder drug and it is a heat stable. So missing element is that health sector readiness. What he say, we should be ready, like involve every obstetrician gynecologist, it involve every nurse, be it trained or be it not trained. And we have to need finance, human and organizational resources. So we have come from MDG goal to SDG goal, and SDG what is? Thrive everybody. Every generation should thrive and develop, and we should be very, very comprehensive about it. And 3.1 to 3.7 focus on maternal death, proportion of birth attended by skilled birth attendant, under 5 mortality, and the access to family planning method. So here we are just began. We focused on 4 days virtual conference only on SDG goal, and really we look forward to a world which is equity, which has equality, which has compassion for all, which have understanding or for, because technology in their own way has nothing if it does not transform the life and if it does not benefit the lives. So we have come a long way. Let us celebrate all the milestones what we have covered. And today, what is the dream of yesterday, our hopes of today, and the reality of tomorrow. So we need advocacy, we need robust health system, we need a strong system, we need funding as well, and we need a respectful relationship between public and private, between government and technocrat, between doctor and the people. So join the movement, devote your talent, treasure and time for saving mothers and sustain health generation of the next. And what is the higher order of logic and understanding that is capable of reflecting the soul from the heart. So every technology, every profession, bring out best soul from our heart. This is our Indian philosophy, and we need really Indian solutions to problem. Now onwards, the world is looking at us. We don't we must have that leadership that gives solution to the world. We are not problem. Having young population is not a problem. We can have the most effective solution for the most complex heterogeneous population, because it is an issue of social justice, and India can be a place that we can as a professional can really prove it that we have done well. So for all saving mothers, always gratitude for being together. I seek your vote and support for my candidature. And what we say that we have worked always for involving everybody, for reaching out everybody, for respecting everybody. And first we should be dedicated and democratic in our professional body so that we can really understand every obstetrician problem, and we can really understand people of every reason's problem. So that is the way forward. Thank you very much for the patient listening.
Thank you, Sadhna ma'am. for the very elaborative and very brainstorming talk. Quality starts with us. Yes, very truly said, ma'am. And here I would proudly like to quote, Ratlam is the first to get Manyata accreditation in our nursing homes. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Very nice.
I request our chairperson, Dr. Urmila ma'am, to conclude the session by her expert remarks.
Thank you so much. I congratulate Dr. Sadhna. This safe motherhood is the basic. Like you said, we owe it to our women. You know, by paying the fees of MBBS, we don't pay for what we are learning. It is the government who is spending so much on us. And we need to give back to the society. So our initial years, a certain part of our practice throughout our career should be devoted to basic gynec and obstetric care. The शुरुआत तो वहीं से है ना, and I appreciate, इतना रिस्पेक्ट मुझे हो रहा है इस बात के लिए कि ठीक है, आपके पास टेक्नोलॉजी है, आपके पास मेट्रो सिटी में है, यू कैन गो फॉर इनफर्टिलिटी एंड एंडोस्कोपी, पर जब हमारे मेजर पॉपुलेशन को अगर बेसिक केयर नहीं मिल रही है तो वी आर ऑल्सो रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर इट. दिस इज वन. एंड सेकेंडली, हाउ फ्रॉम reducing maternal mortality to saving mothers and now to respectful maternity care. So, we are progressing in our goals, in our standards, in our मतलब हमारे स्टैंडर्ड्स बढ़ते ही जा रहे हैं एंड इसकी अवेयरनेस और इसका पॉपुलराइजेशन वो बढ़ाना है, मतलब एट द ग्रास रूट लेवल एवरीबडी. तो मान्यता इज वेरी गुड. हमारे ग्वालियर में भी 2 नर्सिंग होम्स को अभी मान्यता उन्होंने एक्रेडिटेशन लिया है एंड आई थिंक इट इज वेरी गुड. जैसे मेडिकल कॉलेजेस में लक्ष्य इज ट्राइंग टू मेंटेन अ स्टैंडर्ड एंड आई एम फाइंडिंग अ डिफरेंस इन आवर कॉलेज ऑल्सो. दे डोंट इंटरव्यू अस, दे इंटरव्यू आवर बाईज एंड सिस्टर्स एंड दे से कि आप लीपा पोती करके बाहर का तो सब ठीक कर सकती हैं पर एक्चुअल तो हमें उन्हीं से पता चलेगा. एंड क्लियरिंग लक्ष्य इज नॉट इजी. सो we have to really work from inside out.
Yes.
है ना?
Yes.
And congratulations on facing the challenges enhances the quality of our life. ये बात कितनी सही है. केक वॉक वाली वॉक कोई वॉक होती है, उसमें तो फिसल ही जाते हैं अपन, है ना? तो पथरीले नुकीले पत्थर उसको क्रॉस करके जब हम आगे बढ़ते हैं तो फिर उस खुशी की बात ही अलग होती है. एंड देन वी शुड कीप सेलिब्रेटिंग आवर माइलस्टोन्स व्हाइल लुकिंग टुवर्ड्स द गोल्स. बहुत अच्छी बातें कही हैं एंड I will congratulate Ratlam Society for choosing this topic and choosing somebody who has worked so much into it. So my heartiest congratulations and all the best, Sadhna. Huh?
Thank you.
Dr. Jyoti, you want to say something?
Yes, actually, Madam has begged the prize for the best committee in safe motherhood. And today's talk literally, मुझे समझ में आया कि मैडम को तो प्राइज का हकदार थे ही सही. Every scheme and every society, means association who is associated with the safe motherhood things, Madam elaborated everything. Many things even I was not aware about that. अभी मैं मैडम का टॉक देख के मुझे समझ में आया कि कितना सारा चीजें एसोसिएटेड है सेफ मदरहुड के लिए. थैंक यू मैडम, बहुत एनलाइटमेंट वाला टॉक था. थैंक यू वेरी मच.
I'm seeing Dr. Kiran Chandna. Welcome. Good evening, Dr. Kiran.
Good evening, Chandra madam.
Good evening, Kiran madam.
Ma'am, it was very informative talk.
Yes.
I have listened each and every aspect of it, and it is very interesting. Manita program, I got it done in my nursing home also. All my staff, they got education. All of them, they were benefited. So, जो new students they joined and they really learned. I think each and every nursing home should have this Manita program. It is just a cost of money, but whatsoever you gain, it is so important for us. We feel benefited. इससे पहले तो हमारे स्टाफ को पता नहीं होता था, अब दे नो इट, नाउ वी कैन टेल देम नाउ, क्योंकि आपको अब सिखा दिया गया, अब क्यों गलती हुई. सो इट इज वेरी बेनिफिशियल फॉर अस.
नहीं मैडम, और हमने क्या फील किया, इतना बेसिक सिखाया है उन्होंने स्टाफ को, और इतना एंथुजियाज्म से उनके ट्रेनर्स ने ट्रेन किया है 5 ट्रेनिंग सेशंस में. इवन आई लिसन द होल मान्यता ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम माई सेल्फ ऑल्सो. और बहुत अच्छा बेसिक, कैसे कॉम्प्लिकेशंस मैनेज करना, कैसे उनको रिस्पेक्ट देना, क्योंकि कई बार ऐसा होता है कि अपन मान के चलते हैं कि लेबर में पेशेंट आई है तो उसको अपन जोर से बोलेंगे, डांटेंगे, पर जो उन्होंने बताया है ना, उससे स्टाफ में भी बहुत अंतर आया मैडम.
एक्चुअली बार बार हम लोग भी जब सुनते हैं तो बहुत बार हमें भी लगता है कि हमारा कम्युनिकेशन थोड़ा गड़बड़ है.
हाँ.
बहुत बार हमको भी समझ में आता है कि वी शुड ऑल्सो लर्न द कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स. कितनी बार थोड़ा एज के साथ हम भी श्रूड हो जाते हैं, थोड़ा पेशेंट के साथ. तो थोड़ा बीच बीच में रिवीजन तो सबके लिए, मीन्स बीइंग अ डॉक्टर और बीइंग अ स्टाफ और बीइंग अ पैरामेडिक्स, बहुत अच्छा है वो. थैंक यू.
मतलब बेसिक जो ट्रेनिंग है वो बहुत ही अच्छी दी मान्यता वालों ने.
Yes, ma'am.
So, yes, Manita is, because it is one of only program I think which is available in private sector. So we have a long way to go. And advocacy for Dr. Jyoti says, even like we are so much, sometime a day is bad and we become, अगर किसी ने दूसरी बार पूछा तो like we become irritated. But now it is a real bar on me कि like even especially if the rural patient less educated, they really afraid to ask the IT people. They will keep your head on the same time, but actually we should be really sensitive to people, because only then they will come that yes, nahi wahan sab अच्छे से बोलते हैं और अच्छे से करते हैं. And we have what we say na, doctors violence for doctors. I am also a part of core committee, लेकिन मेरा एक view ये भी साथ साथ है, yes, we should zero for the violence against doctors, that is different thing, but we also have to be very sensitive that it is not very costly, it is not very complicated care to, like infertility people, रूरल लोग हैं, उनके यहाँ इतना प्रेशर होता है कि वो अपना जमीन बेच के भी IVF कराते करते. So we should be very sensitive and respectful. What are the chances, not giving very costly drug to them, because we also have to be non-violent to our people. तो ये एक जरूरी, आई से दैट ओनली नॉन वायलेंस कैन लाइक ना, वो उसी को ब्रेक कर सकता है उस चेन को, वायलेंस को. सो वी शुड ऑल्सो वर्क ऑन इट. इट इज नॉट ओनली स्पीकिंग स्वीटली, इट शुड बी, आप कभी कभी जैसे आप somebody you love then you scold them also, कभी कभी तेज भी बोलते हैं, but in our action we should be very clear and very compassionate, what we can say. So this is especially for new generation, I will say, who are not more ambitious than us. We were quite happy in any way, but today's everybody in a own hurry. So we have to reach
after post graduation there should be a small training session for the newly passed out student for the communication skills and empathy towards the patient. No. Because coming from the very stressful situation of post graduation, usually they need to learn something. And I am so thankful for Dr. Manisha and Dr. Neha. इतना अच्छा टॉपिक लिया मनीषा एंड नेहा. थैंक यू सो मच.
थैंक यू साधना मैडम.
Session should be right from let me see if my mic it should be right from the first year, and we should be role models for them. हम
yes,
पहले तो RMOs पे नहीं चिल्लाएं.
It should be from first year. Yes, हाँ, yes. हम लोग मतलब yes. And what we say,
behavior should be role model. Yes.
You say na, that she introduced your CV, I mean English literature. Actually, when I entered in medical college, now 2 or 3 books, I say they should be the part of medical education curriculum. Many of you are in the teaching institution, like final diagnosis. Like one thing in which a doctor get heart attack, and how when we become patient, what we expect that the only autopsy is final diagnosis, why there is need to be updated. So these are, if you only MCQ, आजकल क्या है, why they are dry from 8th class, they are in coaching class. Parents are them to clear 90%, 95%, and they have no access to art and softness and the patient's perspective, how they feel when they become sick. How it is like na cancer diagnosis, heart attack diagnosis, IUFD diagnosis, like the final diagnosis is about RH incompatibility when there is a repeated intrauterine fetal death. And the theme of this final diagnosis, that is a classic book that the obstetrician was not aware of indirect Coombs test that was available on that time. It is not indirect Coombs test, so they go on missing diagnosis. And that that book give me insight that what book says to all, I will say कि एक दिन ऐसा आएगा कि आपको पेशेंट घेर लेंगे, आपके फैमिली मेंबर आपको घेर लेंगे, चाहे आपको कुछ भी करना पड़े, आप कमरा बंद करिए, but you be updated what is available in the world. And that book and how it goes with us. So Dr. Urmila, I think whosoever in teaching college, you please, we will, as a Foxy, if I become Foxy president, then we will go on it that like our students should be wet, they should be, unka dil acha hona chahiye. Because in India we have a lot of work to do. In India it is Western world can go for legal, shoes, insurance, but for our people we really have to do work for them. So few things from my heart.
Hard work. Yeah.
Yes. So thank you, Manisha and Neha again.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, Urmila madam. Thank you, Jyoti. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All the best.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thanks.
Can we have a click for a little bit before we leave?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sometimes we have only what we are missing in physical conference is that the photographs.
लेकिन इसमें कनेक्ट अच्छा होता है, हर कोई
हाँ बहुत अच्छा कनेक्ट होते हैं,
बहुत अच्छा,
डिस्टेंसेस बिल्कुल कम हो जाते हैं।
हमने तो मतलब राह निकाल ली, हमने दूरी को फांद लिया, दूरी नहीं रहने दी इस तरीके।
मैडम कई बार तो कॉन्फ्रेंसेस में भी इतने लोगों से नहीं मिल पाते थे वर्चुअल प्लेटफॉर्म पे।
बिल्कुल।
थैंक यू
मैडम, चैट बॉक्स में सब आपके प्रेज के लिए लिखा हुआ है, प्रेजेस है फुल ऑफ।
just I was busy in like it was something close to my heart, so I go on.
हाँ नहीं, कोई नहीं, वो तो ठीक है।
Thank you, Madam.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, bye. So we take leave. All the best. Bye.
एक मिनट जरा सा, I should just reply. So once again, thank you, special thank from my side, and I again request for your full-hearted support for my candidature, everybody.
All the best, madam.
Best wishes, ma'am. Best wishes.
Thank you. So we can leave now.
Go. We can leave, huh?
Yes, bye, ma'am.